Hello, welcome back. This is Edwin Perez doing another podcast to inform the city of Haines City and all the surrounding cities around us. My podcast is pretty much moving our city forward. Today, I have another great opportunity to speak with another entrepreneur. She's the president of our Hispanic networking group. Okay. She's very influential. She has a lot of contacts, and I'm very proud to have her here because I've been honored to meet several very powerful women in our community, and she's definitely one of them. And I have her here to talk about issues and also talk about the Hispanic community. It's really important that we reach out to the Hispanic community. We need to make an effort to involve them in our decisions in our future, in the present, and for our kids as well. So without any further ado, I'm here to introduce Marisol. And again, she's the president and of this leader of the Hispanic Network Group. So I'm going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself and let us know a little bit about you, where you're from, where you come from, how did you start this? And please enlighten us. Tell us what you're all about.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie, for inviting me on your podcast. I'm very excited. Yes, my name is Marisol Ortega. I'm the president of the Hispanic Leaders Network. We created the organization several months ago, late last year, when wanted to become more involved in the community and getting Hispanic people together, businesses, Hispanic leaders, just to talk about the needs that we have as a Hispanic community, because we live in Polk County, and especially in our area here, there is a high population, fastly growing, of Hispanics. Whether you're coming from New York City, whether you're coming from Puerto Rico, whether you're coming from Venezuela or Colombia, we are not the Polk County that I came to see when we moved here back in 2001.
Wow.
Very few Hispanics.
Yep.
So I am originally from the Bronx, from New York City.
There you go.
And I come from grandparents that were born and raised in Puerto Rico, came to New York City probably sometime in the late mid 50s. And, you know, they set their ground there in the South Bronx, and we grew up with family, with tradition. Very exciting time. I can't think of anything bad. You know, obviously we grew up in an area where there was a lot of drugs and crime, you know, in the South Bronx.
So did I.
Yeah, vacant buildings, drugs everywhere. But, you know, if you had the mindset to come out of it, you did.
Yep, that's right.
And eventually, you know, I met my husband in my teens, and my in-laws moved here. That's how we wound up in Florida, in Polk County. And we love it here. So the Hispanic Leaders Network really starts and stems from our view growing up. And Hispanics and Latinos are very, we're strong when we unite. And I didn't see that a lot here in Polk County. And I wanted to be a part of getting everyone together. You know, I'm not going to please everybody, but we got to start.
That's our goal. That's our goal here,
Yeah.
because it's obvious we have a bad reputation, to be honest with you. And we have to turn that around.
Right.
You know, we love to complain. We love to show up late, and we love to eat.
Yes, yes.
And that goes for all the Hispanic community. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is that we need leaders like yourself and other people that have been on my podcast lately. And they're strong-minded, and they have a good vision as to what we feel that the Hispanic community could do. If we all get together and fight as one, we could do a lot. But the problem is that we have to gain their trust and make them feel that there's a voice out there. But they have to look up to leadership. They have to look up to people. They say, you know what, I trust that guy or that woman to lead us, and maybe they can make a difference. So what I'm trying to do is have people like yourself come on board to the podcast and talk about what you're doing, because your foundation, it's fantastic, and it stems and it points directly to the Hispanic community. And we need strong people. And I keep telling everybody, women are strong. We men can't do anything without these women.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I got you here, because I want you to at least give us an idea, talk to us, tell us what your vision is going forward for the next few years, in the present and going forward, because it's not about going backwards. We got to forget about going backwards. So where do you see your foundation, your group, your networking group in the near future?
Oh, we have a lot planned this upcoming year. So we're excited because we're starting off the year. My husband and I sat down. We're looking at dates. We're looking what we need to do, because we're very prayerful at the same time, where we want to be able to be involved in things that we are going to be putting our hearts in, because we won't do anything else.
Right.
We're very passionate, like most Hispanic Latinos are. Hispanic women are in the forefront right now. And you see that a lot in a lot of big organizations all throughout Florida, all throughout the nation. But we need our voices heard, and we need to be the voices for those that do not have a voice.
Right.
What we're looking to do in this next year under the Hispanic Leaders Network is we continue to do events. So a lot of those events include what we did last year was the Hispanic and Latin Cultural Festival in Haines City in Lake Eva. We did that, and we saw that was a success. People came out, and if you know a Hispanic or Latino family, they
I
love
was there,
food.
and it was very good.
Yes, thank you.
It was really good.
They love food, music, and just to enjoy themselves. And so that's our background in growing up. And that is, you are used to going to grandma's house, and you have this big meal of, arroz con gandules and pernil and potato salad, and you're with your cousins and your aunts and uncles. And that is how when I meet people, I am really inviting you in as if you were family. So when we are doing the Hispanic Leaders Network and we're doing events, we want you to feel that. Right. We want you to feel that, whether it's in just a networking event at a facility, we want you to mingle or talk to each other, or if it's a huge event like a festival, we want you to know that, hey, this is all love. So our mission is to unite, engage, and empower.
There you go.
So if we get united, which, as you said, we're very powerful when we are. And I think people know that, especially people in government. They know that if enough of these Latinos and Hispanics come out to vote, this will make a difference.
Oh yeah, we could make a difference. We could make an impact.
Correct.
The thing is that we have to find the right leadership. We have to find the right cause. And Lord knows there's a lot of causes out there. Yeah. But we have to connect. We have to connect, because if we don't connect, we're not going to get their attention. No. And they really feel that they don't have a voice out here. They really don't.
No. And that's because they get intimidated. Yep. When I first moved here, we purchased our home, and I started going to the council meeting. And one of the first things that the mayor at that time told me is, go back where you came from.
Wow.
And I said, I am a New Yorker and I am Puerto Rican.
That's right.
I am not going anywhere.
Wow.
We purchased this home here. My family will be here. My kids will be raised here. And I was probably being a little mean at the time, but it's just honest. They will probably outlive, our Ortega family will outlive this here. And I began being a part of the community. Good. It's not anything new, because when I lived in New York, I did a lot of mentoring. I did a lot of, and just to give a little bit of my background, I was raised by my grandmother from the age of 11 up, because my mother was addicted to drugs.
Right.
And so I wasn't technically in the foster care system, but under what they call in New York kinship, because I was with a relative, and we were blessed. But my grandmother was a grandmother with 6 siblings of ours, because I am the oldest of 10.
Wow.
So when I get this motherly feeling, or people feel that it's because it stems from my childhood.
That's right. Right.
So I embrace everyone. My family's the same way with my husband, but we want to be able to make sure that a lot of our traditions in the Hispanic community, Latinos, because I try to do that in my own home, where we have traditions like Sunday dinner, everyone together. I can have as many as maybe 30 to 40 people in my house on a Sunday cooking all the dinner, but everybody's enjoying themselves. I like to see that even outside in the community.
Yeah, and it's sad. A lot of that tradition is pretty much going down the drain because I have a hard time with my family.
Yeah.
Either they do join us, but they're not there because they're on their phone.
Yes.
So I have to take their phone and put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Then I realize I got to buy another one because they can't afford it. So I can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. But it is sad. It is. And it's people like yourself and the other women that I have or had on the previous podcast. They all pretty much stem from the same thing you just mentioned because it's a strong background and the base that comes from our parents and gives us that leadership role and wanting to go out there and help people and so on and so forth. And I tell you the truth, one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I also feel there's a need for leadership because people are scared and don't want to waste their time because, like we mentioned earlier, they feel that they don't have a voice.
Correct.
They feel that it's going to go unheard. So if we unite and we do things in the masses, we can get things done. If we just got it, get there. It's so difficult. Now getting back to your networking group, let me ask you something. Do you feel that the cities? Let's pick Haines City for an example. Do you feel that the city is doing enough for the Hispanic community?
Well,
a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. It is. Besides events,
right?
We cannot just think that we throw festivals or you throw a little event here, a little event there. No, that's not enough.
Yeah, it's like they throw crumbs at you.
Correct. But then when you want our vote, is when you want to sit here and you want to be able to come out and say, vota por mí. Now everybody's speaking Spanish. Now everybody is writing, Spanish.
No, I know of people that change their, native tongue because now they're running and
Correct.
now they're Hispanics.
No. So part of the organization is we're going to make you accountable. So I don't necessarily have to live in Haines City. I don't, but I'm very close nearby. But the surrounding cities, including Haines City, we have a mission that now under Hispanic Leaders Network, there's no, it's pretty much nonpartisan. We don't, because we want to be able to include everyone.
Right.
But we are working on something different that we are going to be catering more to finding and helping candidates that we feel are a voice for the Hispanic community because we are in need when it comes to education, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to listening to what is it that the Hispanic community needs. The businesses, the small businesses, because the small businesses in this area are growing vastly. Hay un montón de negocios que están abriendo, food trucks. You have people that, yes, came here and are looking for something better. We need to have programs, that the city supports in order to make sure that these kids are successful. When I look at the education here, compared to what I come from up north, nothing.
And we're lucky if they know how to read and write.
Correct. It's struggling. And I have a 12-year-old that after COVID struggled. Yep. And then now is and it took for us to get tutoring and things like that. Thank God they are our businesses, but these are small businesses, people that are doing things for the community to help no matter what it is. But we as a city, I think, they need to offer more programs. I've been wondering why they don't have, if they know a Hispanic community is growing, porque no tenemos clase de inglés para los hispanos.
Right.
La clase de inglés para hispano, offer it. You have facilities. Hey, get someone that you can be able to come out and teach, maybe the Spanish speakers that want to learn English to come out, speak Spanish, help the kids, because a lot of the kids that are born here or are here are the translators for their families.
And the sad thing, what I've noticed also, they seem to suppress the demographics because they know that we could be powerful.
Correct.
And the time is coming. It's got to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I mentioned, they throw crumbs at you. A little festival here or something related to Hispanic Heritage Month, things of that nature. But the bulk and the problem itself, the nucleus, they never really address it. And it's sad because we don't have the leadership that represents the demographics.
No.
Do you know the percentage of Hispanics in Haines City? Just Haines City, because in Polk County is a lot. But I'm just curious of Haines City. Do you know?
Is. And I know, I think even in Florida, if I heard the other day, was like about 45%, like it's getting up there really high, but I don't know the exact percentage.
Yeah, Haines City is 54% Hispanic.
Wow, more than half.
And usually if you hit a 30% mark of any demographics, it's amazing. We're at 54 and growing. There's another 10 to 15, 20,000 homes coming in the next few years. So, and who knows, half of them could be Hispanics.
Yes.
But, that's why we need networking groups and committees and foundations that cater to these needs. And again, my focus is to bring people like yourself, strong individuals, people that have the mentality that are trying to do something, not just for the Hispanics, but for the community. And it's sad because we have elected officials that are there just for their self-gratification. And it's sad to say that because they're voted and they're put there by us, the taxpayers, and then they get in office just like all the other politicians, and they forget about the people.
Yes.
They only remember about the people the first year and the last year.
Yes.
Because they wanted to get in office and they want to go back into office.
Correct.
So, and they even change who they are. They become Mexicans, they become Brazilians, Puerto Ricans. So, it's really amazing how, it's almost laughable as a joke. But we need to get people in the right position to start making decisions to help everybody, not just Hispanics, but everybody. And that's the theme behind this whole thing. And that's why I asked you to come on board because, it is so important that, again, I keep reiterating, but it's important that we have people like yourself, strong women. And your husband, I met him and he's awesome. He's also involved in a lot of community things. And I know he's really adamant because I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of new people. I'm only here in Haines City for 3 years. And I hear the same stories over and over again. Well, I was born here. I went to elementary school. I went to high school. I left. I came back. I know I'm the best person to lead this community. And that's not true. It's not true because sometimes you need somebody from the outside to come in and make people aware of the real problems because they get content, they get complacent with what's going on. And as long as you keep throwing them little crumbs, they're happy. But the fact of the matter is that it's okay to get somebody from the outside. It's okay to have somebody from the outside and open your eyes and realize that we could be a lot bigger and better. And it's a shame that other communities around us have facilities already established like restaurants and bars and places that the community that you live in could go and entertain themselves. Right. It's sad that in this case, Haines City residents come home and they got to go to Lakeland or Ponciana or other areas just to get a bite to eat or drink. Right. Because we don't have those facilities here. But enough about Haines City because, I don't want to point just one particular city, but it is important because we are the focus point right now. Polk County is the largest county that's growing in the country from the last survey I heard. And a lot of money is coming into Haines City because all the other cities around us have peaked their growth. Yes. So Haines City is about the only city right now that has a lot of land, and they're starting to put a lot of homes up. Yeah. But they're forgetting how to build the structure around it. So again, Hispanics are a key element to this growth, the key element. And it's so important that we involve them, but we have to find a way how to. And I'm hoping that your network group would do it by electing or finding candidates that could represent us. Correct.
Well, the networking group where we see where people come out and want to be enjoying themselves is actually networking where we can get businesses and leaders together, talk to each other, referral. We don't charge a membership. We have our Facebook page. We ask you to come on there and see when the events are and where they are. We try to do it in different areas in the county so we can get leaders together. Now, aside from the Hispanic Leaders Network, and I'll let you know, because this is the first time that I've mentioned it publicly.
Oh, so you're letting the cat out the bag.
So I'm letting the cat out the bag. We are creating the Democratic Hispanic Caucus of Polk County.
Great.
Democrat I am. But that the point is to find and get people that that want to run, that are passionate about the community. Porque la comunidad aquí tenemos mucho hispano. Tenemos que tratar de conseguir gente que quieren ser alcalde, que quieren ser commissioner. Todita la gente que están ahí para hacer algo en la comunidad, no solamente ir de trabajo a su casa. Queremos que usted es parte de la comunidad y lo juntamos juntos, todos nosotros, porque esa es la única forma que podemos hacer una diferencia en el condado de Polk.
Absolutely.
So, en este momento estamos tratando de tener la organización de los demócratas, los hispanos aquí en Polk County, y encima de eso tengo el negocio de nosotros que es totalmente separado de los candidatos, pero es Hispanic Leaders Network. Y con eso el networking, salir, conocer a mucha gente de la comunidad, porque lo bueno es que en esta comunidad tenemos mucho negocio hispano. Chiquito, pero son hispanos. Tenemos que soportarlo. La economía es algo bien grande para nosotros. La cosa es tan cara ahora. La cosa es tan cara. Donde yo compraba groceries por 200 o 300 pesos al mes, ahora se puede ser 400, 500, es mucho. Tenemos una familia ahora de 6, pero yo tengo 9 hijos, 2 nietos. It gets expensive. So
Very
the
expensive.
economy right now is important for our Hispanic community. Education is really big. I mean, I have a son who goes to Haines City High School. He's about to graduate, but I have to now consider, am I sending my 12-year-old when he's ready to go to high school, to Haines City? Because they're overpopulated.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, overpopulated. And their lunch times and everything are shortened. I mean,
Yep.
and this is a place that we've seen grow because we're building homes and not looking at the infrastructure when it comes to schools.
Well, I found out the other day that high school was built by a private donation from an owner that lives in Haines City.
Wow.
And he built the high school and he had a lease to the city. In other words, the city leased it from him for 30 years because the city needed schools and he was a member and a resident of Haines City and he decided to build a high school. That's Haines City High. It's amazing that when you hear this and you say, well, you're telling me the city couldn't build the school? And right now, that school you mentioned is overpopulated because they're building and they're fixing another high school. And you have those kids from that community, that city, come into Haines City.
Yes.
And you have Haines City residents, they can't even get their kids in the high school. They have to go to Ponciana.
No.
Because there's no room for them. So, and on top of that, Lord knows, the classrooms are at pretty much 34, 35 kids a classroom.
Overcapacity.
And the state minimum is 25 for each kid in the class. And on top of that, they only give a half hour to eat lunch. How are you going to feed 3,500 kids in a half hour? Now, of course, they have different time slots, but still.
But they're rushing.
They're rushing the kids.
Correct.
And the teachers don't even have time to eat.
No.
Because they have other things. They're they're just overwhelmed with all this work because so many kids. Correct. So we have a lot of issues.
Correct.
In this city.
We have to tackle them. We have to start tackling them. And I think it starts with making our leaders accountable and stop just being complacent, like you said, and sitting down and not doing anything. Make them accountable.
And the fact of the matter is that having leaders come back after they were in office for many years to come back, well, what are they going to do if they couldn't do anything, when they were there? And then you have the leaders who are here now, they need to move on because we need fresh faces, new ideas, and we'll also have to address demographics. It's not about just trying to deal with the demographic that you belong to, but it really comes down to that at one point because if they are the majority now, then they're the ones that could make the biggest impact on the decisions that we make in the city.
I agree. And you won't know that until you actually talk.
Exactly.
To the community.
And if they
gotta be out there.
if they kind of suppress you, is a big difference. You mentioned earlier that nobody pays to get on your networking.
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? After this podcast, you're gonna have to start charging.
Okay.
because you know what? It's you need people to join.
Yeah.
So my next question is, after watching you today, and hopefully they watch you, is there any way that they can join your networking group?
Yes. I mean, right now it is through the Facebook page, which is Hispanic Leaders Network. So la página de Facebook is Hispanic Leaders Network. All you have to do is like the page right now. So then that way you are a member of that community because it is a private community. And there is when I post events and things of what we're going to be doing.
Right.
We may later on in the future, change some of the policies that we have right now. But right now, we're just trying to build relationships,
Right.
Get people together in the community, talk about what's important to us as a Hispanic community.
Right.
And as things progress, we will continue to highlight that in there, because I also, not only do I network in Polk County, I also network in Osceola County.
Right.
So, we need each other, pretty much. It's not just this area. And I've been told often that, oh, you don't live in Haines City. I don't live in Haines City. I live close to it, but you know what? I have kids that go to school in Haines City.
That's right.
My church, wonderful, big, huge church in Haines City. I attend church every Sunday. I'm the youth director for our children's Kingdom Kids is what we call it.
Awesome.
I go shopping in Haines City.
That's right.
We deal in Haines City. So don't underestimate me by thinking that I don't live in a certain city, because I work right now with all cities and all communities, and we're looking to work with all the local municipalities to get everything together. So la casa de nosotros no es solamente para Haines City, pero para toda la ciudad que queda alrededor de Haines City. So solamente porque yo no vivo en Haines City, yo trabajo, tengo niños en la escuela, tengo todo el trabajo que hacemos es entre Haines City, Davenport, Dendy, Lake Hamilton, lo que sea, pero yo voy a estar alrededor del condado de Polk por la organización de nosotros.
If you had to put where Haines City is in the sense of the involvement of the Hispanic community, where would they fit in comparison to the other cities like Lakeland, Ponciana? What I'm trying to get is, do you feel that the Hispanic community in Haines City is not as involved as other communities?
No, I don't feel that they have some great. I mean, Haines City is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful city. A lot of potential, but I think that leadership, government, even community leaders, we need to understand that the environment is changing. Again, when I say Hispanics, I'm not only talking about Puerto Ricans and Cubans.
Right.
I'm talking about Venezuelans, Haitians.
That's right. Brazilians, everybody.
Brazilians,
Dominicans, everybody.
This is becoming a mini New York City. I tell my husband sometimes
it's a big melting pot.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah.
You go to New York City, there's certain areas, you have Little Italy, you have, the Spanish Harlem, you have Harlem.
Chinatown.
So
everything.
yeah, so you have, but we need to know how to commune together in order to make a difference. And obviously this is a big city to compare to, but when I look where I've come from in New York City, we have programs, we have for our youth. What are we doing for our youth? I mean, besides what I do like is that they offer some recreational things, but we need room to have bigger things. Lakeland does have a lot of things to offer. But I think we need to all to get together as a county.
Right.
Because there is a lot of room for improvement. There is potential, and we need to get behind it right now. And that is by locating candidates and getting leaders that are going to have a voice and not going to be afraid to say it, to say what is needed, not making people accountable. And that is part of what we're going to do.
It's funny. It's like in New York City, you have boroughs.
Yes.
Manhattan, Queens, Bronx,
Correct.
so, and you have borough presidents.
Yeah.
You could interpret them as commissioners for
Correct.
each borough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Haines City is getting to the point that just the amount of people that are living here, we're going to be reaching 50,000, in a couple of years.
Yes.
I really believe that I'm going to bring up this idea that we should use different districts and have a commissioner for each district. Because I think that each commissioner, if they decide district A, B, and C, whichever it may fall, you have commissioners running for each of those districts, and we can hold those commissioners accountable for their particular district. So like that, they can do things for their individual district or communities or boroughs, whichever way you want to call it, because it'll keep them busy and accountable for what they're doing for the people who elected them in that particular district. So that's something I'm thinking and I'm kind of hashing out and trying to bring out to the public to see how they feel about it, because the way it's set up now, it is what it is. It's old school. They've been doing it forever and they don't want to change it. But you know what? It's growing big time. And the bottom line is that, they go out there and they pick and choose. Well, who am I going to go after? Or what demographics needs this and that's and that?
Correct.
So a lot of things need to be changed.
Correct.
Like we keep talking about that. And, to me, it's vital that the change has to come and how we do it and ideas. And that's why I brought up the idea about your group, because the more people that sign up to your group, the more ideas you get. And you need that because you need diversity. You need
Correct.
people to come in with ideas.
Correct.
Like I mentioned, previous podcasts I have done, you wake up in the morning, if you learn one or two things new that day, then you should be happy, because people think that, I don't need to learn anything else. But, in life, half the problem is getting up in the morning. There's people that can't get up,
Correct.
And the other half is pretty much learning, even if it's from your 2-year-old kid. You can learn from anybody. And it's important that I think that our community leaders need to pretty much get off their butts and start engaging with the community.
That is the word.
Engaging. I call it my virus, because it's a good virus, but I want people who meet me to be pretty much consumed with this virus I have, so you can go out there and spread the word, because that's the only way we're going to do it.
Yes.
It's the cheapest form of advertising.
It is.
The cheapest form of advertising is word of mouth. When I had my business for many years, in the beginning, I lost so much money because I had to put ads in magazines and everything like that. Then I learned real easy that if you give good service to people, that person's going to tell one person, that person going to tell 2 people, and then 4 people, and it multiplies. Mm-hmm. So it's the same theory here that I want to impose and also kind of reach out to the community. And it's just so important. But Marisol, again, I'm honored that you're here.
Thank you.
I love to see strong women, entrepreneurs. Your husband should be very happy that he has you.
I hope so.
Okay, no, I'm sure he does. He may not say it too often, but I'm sure he does. He does. And it's a privilege that I met you and your husband. I've been so blessed that I've been here only 3 years in this community, and the amount of people that I've met, and the right people, because I've met the people that mean well, and they have a focus, and they have a means. And to me, I just love it. So with that, I just want you to reach out to our public, to our podcast viewers. Please tell them where they can contact you, how they can engage with you and your husband and your movement. And hopefully we'll have you again sometime. And we'll just continue this, because we need to make an issue. We need to make a move. We got to get this thing going.
Correct.
So please tell them all the information. Don't tell them where you live.
No. No, but this year, we are looking to have our second annual Hispanic Festival in September this year. So we are looking for people to come out and support, of course, as well. We also have, as far as the big events coming out, we're having our first, we were not able to have it last year because of Hurricane Milton, but we're going to have our first annual Hispanic Parade in Dundee. The date has not been set yet, but I'm thinking that it'll probably be in early October to kind of close out Hispanic and Heritage Month. Another thing in the works is going to be Business Expo. We want to get 50 to 100 businesses together out there for the community to come out and see what we have, because there's some small businesses that people don't know are out here, which is another thing that leaders, we do a lot of, ribbon cutting and things like that for some of the bigger, events. I know an organization here in Lakeland, which you'll have her probably later on if you haven't already, where I know she's very focused, and I'm a part of that organization as well, where she's very focused on the small Hispanic businesses that open up. Good. So we're having that besides our networking events. So go onto our Facebook page, Hispanic Leaders Network, for the information. I will be working on our website. Hopefully, we will get that in the next month or 2, because there's a lot of info that you will find on there. I will give my phone number, because it's okay. You can text me and call me. Let me know how we can help. If I can, we will. But it's about community. My number is 440-1780. So en español, le voy a decir que nosotros estamos ya planeando el segundo festival hispano para este año, que va a ser en septiembre aquí en Haines City, como el año pasado, y gracias a todos los sponsors, los vendedores, la gente que soportó a nosotros. Vamos a tener la primera parada anual hispana en Dundee. Eso será como en octubre, no tenemos la fecha todavía. Y vamos a tener el evento para un negocio, un expo, small business expo, but any business that wants to be able to part of it, pueden salir. So, si usted tiene un negocio, comuníquese conmigo. La página de Facebook de nuevo es Hispanic Leaders Network. Mi número de teléfono es 863-440-1780. Me puede enviar un text. Y estamos trabajando pronto para tener el website de nosotros en inglés y en español para darle más información, porque nosotros vamos a estar aquí en esta comunidad trabajando con todos en la comunidad. Pero los otros hispanos, le pido que por favor sea parte de la comunidad. Haz algo, busca de hacer algo en la comunidad. Pero si nosotros ya tenemos elecciones que van a resumir abril 1, elecciones locales, que son de Haines City, de Lake Hamilton, de Dundee, y son áreas que nosotros tenemos que votar. Los hispanos tenemos poder. Vamos este año a enseñarle a la comunidad, al gobierno, que tenemos ese poder. No me importa si es puertorriqueño, cubano, lo que sea. Si puedes votar, deja que su voz hable. Por favor, su voto hable. So, le estamos pidiendo y empujando para los hispanos, porque nosotros somos la mayoría en este condado. Ahora, ¿verdad?
Yeah,
en este condado somos la mayoría. So, tenemos que poner a los leaders, a nosotros, donde ellos tienen que oírlo a nosotros. Y no vamos a hacer eso si estamos sentados en la casa. No tengan miedo de nada. Hay organizaciones, hay gente que le pueden hacer de ayuda de todo, de lo que usted necesita. Yo conozco a mucha gente, aunque sea abogado de inmigración, de lo que sea, no tengan miedo. Si ustedes pueden votar, necesita ayuda. Parte de la organización de nosotros es refiriendo. So as I ended, and I thank you again, Eddie, but our networking group is it's more of a referral service, so we can get connections and connect with each other. Don't be afraid. I'm asking my Hispanic and Latino voters to come out and vote. Come out and vote. We are strong.
Oh, yeah.
We are strong, and our voice needs to be heard. We have a new president coming in, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. We're going to just keep moving to move our society forward, our community. But we can't do that if we don't start with our local elections, with our local businesses for the economy. We need to support them. And we cannot do it if we don't voice out the education here. Get people in the school board that is actually going to care about these overcrowded schools. Oh, we need everything that we can.
Fantastic. Well said. And I'm going to let you know, you said networking. Well, I'm going to find somebody for you to get that website going. Okay?
Yes, okay.
'Cause we need that website going.
Yes.
I got the right person for you. Okay?
I know you do. You see?
And with that, I'm just going to end it. I'm just going to say again, I appreciate Marisol for coming and giving her opinion and her view of the Latin community. I'm going to continue the podcast. I'm going to have other women, strong women in the community. I'm also going to deal with entertainment in the community where we lack, and hopefully we can get artists to have entertainment in Haines City, especially Haines City. But the main thing is that, like Marisol said, there's an election coming up April 1st, and it's April Fool's Day, but it is the truth. It is April 1st on a Tuesday, and we need you to come out and vote. You guys got to vote. You guys have a voice, and the voice is really important. Okay, so go into my website. It's Edwin Perez. It's EDWINPEREZ 2025.com. We are going to post information for voting. We're going to post the phone number to call your voting stations. You can get your voting ballots in the mail, and you can vote by mail, because a lot of people are scared to go to the actual sites to vote. So you can vote early. Don't sit back. And if you have a question, because you just don't know, contact me. My information is on the website. I'm willing to go to your house if you cook for me. Okay? So Marisol has one more thing to say. I'm going to pass it over to her. But again, thank you for watching us. Marisol, end it for us,
Yes,
please.
I just wanted to add, because I think one of the things that we don't have, and we talked about it earlier, is an open mind. Yes. We need to know all our candidates.
Right.
Okay. What I ask is that I know if you're comfortable with a certain candidate, or because of what they've done or what they've not done, I'm not telling you who to vote for. But what I am saying, be informed and understand each and all of the candidates, what they stand for. Ask questions. And that's one of the main things. So en español le digo que, por favor, dele una oportunidad a todos los candidatos, porque ustedes se pueden informar de lo que ellos representan, lo que ellos quieren hacer para la ciudad donde usted vive. Pero dale esa oportunidad y no solamente diga, ok, voy a votar por tal, porque ya yo lo conozco y está ahí. No, necesitamos cambio. El cambio va a venir si lo queremos o no. Y tenemos que informarlo de eso. So, por favor, open mind. Be informed that when you go to that voting booth, right, you are voting with your heart.
That's right. And my website, which I gave you, you are able to ask questions on my website. So again, open it up, follow me, and have a great evening, and look out for my next podcast. Thank you very much.